In this episode, we are going to cover what mass assignment is, how to test for it manually, and lastly, how to automate testing using Akto. So, mass assignment vulnerability is a security flaw that can occur in API when user input is directly used to modify the properties of an object. This can allow attackers to modify data and perform unauthorized actions on an application. It is also one of the OWASP top 10 API vulnerabilities, therefore it is crucial to test for it from a security standpoint. It will make more sense with the practical demonstration. Let's take a look at the manual approach first. Manual testing will include 4 steps. Step 1 is to manually explore the API endpoints. Step 2 is to analyze each request and responses. Step 3 is to find a variable being assigned by the server. It could be any variable. And then step 4 is to try to update the variable with a different value. We are going to perform all these steps using Burp Suite. And for demonstration purpose, we are going to use OWASP Juice Shop. To capture all the requests, I need to have my Burp proxy on. Now we will try to capture all the requests by interacting with different functionalities. Here I'm going to register a user. Try interacting with the features such as giving a review, adding something to the cart, or searching for something. Then deleting something from the cart. Now I'm gonna go back to Burp and analyze the HTTP history. In order to find mass assignment, you need to look at each request and find a variable that is being assigned by the server to the client. Here we can see an API endpoint, API/users. This endpoint is used to register a user. And in the response of this request, we can see a variable is being assigned to us, that is, role customer. Probably this is how the server is assigning privileges to the users as well. There is a path in the target application /administration, and this cannot be accessed by the normal user as it says 403 forbidden. Let's send this request in the repeater. If I send this request again, it will say validation error, and email must be unique. That's because we have already registered this user. So we need to create a new user with a different email address. To test if it is vulnerable to mass assignment or not, we need to assign a variable. The same variable that the server assigned to us, but with a different value. That is admin. Now we just need to send this request. And it says success. Also, in the role variable, we can see it has been updated to admin. So we were able to update the variable on the server side. Now what if I try to access the same administration page? To test that out, we need to log out from the current session and log in with the user we just created in Burp. And now if I try to access the same administration page, we can see instead of 403, we are getting admin panel, through which we can see all the registered user and their feedbacks. Well, that was interesting. Now think about testing mass assignment with the steps that I just described on thousands of APIs. That would be tedious and time-consuming. Now what if I tell you you can find this vulnerability with just one click? With the help of Akto, you can automate the process of finding this vulnerability. If you have not yet installed Akto yet, you can do so from the Akto GitHub page along with the Akto extension in Burp Suite. I'll provide the link in the description. Automation with Akto will only take 3 steps. To test for APIs, you need to create an API inventory, and you can do that either by importing a .har file or from the Postman. Once you have your API inventory, the second step would be just to click on Run Test, and then analyze the results. To install Akto Burp extension, open the Akto dashboard, click on Quick Start, and then click on Connect Traffic Data, and there you can see the download link. Since I already have it installed in my Burp Suite, I'm not going to do that right now. In the options, you can see the Akto export collection name by default is Burp. You can change this name to anything. In this case, I'm going to type Juice Shop. In this case, the first step will be same because we are creating an API inventory automatically. Turn on burp proxy and try to interact with the features in the application. Now let's open the Akto extension and see what we have captured. Here we can see number of API endpoints. Go back to Akto dashboard and then to API inventory, refresh the page, and you can see an API inventory has been created automatically with the name we provided. And it has total of 25 endpoints. To test for vulnerabilities, I'm going to click on Run Test. A new dialog box will pop up asking for vulnerabilities that we want to test for. I'm going to uncheck other vulnerabilities because I want to test solely for mass assignment. And then click on Run Once Now. Now move to the testing section. And here we can see the results. Seems like I forgot to uncheck the broken authentication, but that shouldn't be a problem because we can filter the vulnerabilities from the issue category. And here we can see the same API endpoint /API/users, and it says the severity is high. By clicking on the original section, we can see the normal request and responses expected by the server. By clicking on Attempt, you can see the request that was manipulated to exploit the vulnerability. As you can see, Akto engine was able to identify that the role customer was being assigned by the server, and hence it tried to override it. Now, any normal user can become an admin just by assigning a variable in the client request, which is a critical vulnerability, and we just found it in seconds.